Explain like I'm 5. How did people figure out the extraction of metal from ore rock via mining and refining? One hears about the Iron Age and the Bronze Age eras in which people discovered metallurgy. But how did that happen? Was it like 1. Look at rock. 2. See shiny. 3. Try to melt the shiny out of the rock. 4. Profit? Explain it to me. I'm not sure how the discovery have been made in the very beginning, probably by chance when some ore accidentally get into fire. But chemists in 17th century and later acted literally like that. They tried to melt everything, and later they tried to pass electric current through everything and see what would come out of that. Trials and errors. Trials and errors. Native copper. There are many places where copper disposts were found just sitting on rocks. Common through people gathered rocks to fire, ended up making little pools of molten copper on rocks. People are very attuned in the environment. Hundreds of thousands of years. People figure shit out Bekau, even being smart AF. If you watch the Primitive Technology channel on YouTube, a lot of videos show how firing different kinds of pottery and dirts produced small iron prills. It probably happened in a similar fashion over thousands of years. Maybe not a full answer for you, but I think good supporting information. There's a YouTube channel, Primitive Technology, where he genuinely refines his own low-quality iron using only mud and mud-built techniques. Turn on captions for more details or enjoy the wild soundtrack for what it is. Excellent channel. And really informative about what a single guy can do in a plot of land without modern materials. BC. If you give men fire, the first thing they will do is try to burn everything they can find. I have no sources on this. I've always imagined it was an accident. They use a certain rock to build a campfire and someone noticed there was some odd stuff that had melted out of it the next day. They then looked for a few more of them and found they could see veins of metal, which they purposely tried to smelt, with success. Speaking of which, how did the ancient Wakandans extract and work with vibranium from the asteroid if it's unbreakable? Some rocks has liquid come out when used to contain a fire or happen to have a fire built upon it. Just speculating, of course, but seems pretty straightforward. Once they see one rock do this, they try every rock. It may have been something like, look at rock tool that they were already using. Try to make it sharper. Change shape. Mend a crack, maybe heat it to make it harder, softer? Oh hey, look what happened. I'm going to hear it for longer. The same as today. Trial and error. It started with gold and shiny things. Also picking up old meteors off the ground. Copper turns green, so it was easy to see and find. So they knew certain rocks had special things in them. Ancient peoples were great at improvising and adapting to their environment. They knew what iron was during the Bronze Age. They just didn't know where and how to find the ore, but once they figured it out, that knowledge changed the world. You've got to keep in mind just how common open fires were for most of human history. Sooner or later some ore are going to end up being used as a fire ring and getting warm enough that people start to notice the metal melting. Try to make fire with two rocks. Some rocks don't make spark. Some rocks make spark. Try to get spark from rock. Or something. Just imagine that moment in history where people with copper armor met in battle with people with iron armor. I mean, the iron weaponry would just cut off the copper, right?